afternoon, everyone. Sorry. So my name is Narendra Mzava. I'm the lead functional consultant at Aakvatech. Aakvatech is a company in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, and we have been partners for about 5 years now. And basically, going off of what the Navari team has been presenting, I'm going to show you a few of the customizations we've done for our markets and just give you a brief understanding about why we did them. Our team basically speaks with our clients to understand where there's a gap in the system. And when we realize that this is something that we can add value to the system, but also for other customers that may have the same need or issue, we add it to our CSFTZ, which is our customer specific features for Tanzania. So, yes. So as I said, we understand that every market operates differently. Every country may have requirements that they need, whereas the system may not have that functionality available. So our job is to understand why they need it, and if it's either a government issue or requirement, or if it's a functionality issue in terms of to make the working process easier, then we can add it. Of course, with customizations, as soon as a company understands that the system has a lot of things that can be done, they like to add high levels of customization. So our job is to direct them so that we don't over-customize the system, to make sure that the core framework or the core ERPNext still functions well with the enhancement that we are adding. So we have our, obviously, buying and selling enhancements. Your price change request is something that I will focus on, as this was something that was requested a lot by people who sell goods to your customers, is that price change request helps you understand who's requesting the price change, what was the old price, and what is the new price, and how long is it valid for. So this allows tracking to make sure there's full accountability for any change that is made in the system. And you'll have every price change, as you can see here, it's a list. You will have all the price changes listed there, the date as well, and you'll be able to make those tracks so that you can understand exactly what's going on in your organization, what prices are changed, why they're changed, and if you need face-to-face conversation with your team, then you have something to follow up from. From there, we have our banking enhancements. So we provide ERPNext to schools systems. And what we did is that we worked with NMB, as a national bank in Tanzania, and we integrated with them so that when we create control numbers in the system, they can use it at NMB to pay their school fees, and it will update in the system. So it removed the hassle of going to the bank, paying, and then coming back with your proof of payments, and then having to go to the finance office. And so it simplified the process of that whole process. So that paying school fees is not a hassle, but it's a simple thing that can be done with only using a control number that is generated in the system. We have tax enhancements that we have done as well. So we have a feature in our company page, our company doc type, where you can set up your withholding tax accounts so that when you select the option to have it generate, every time you create a sales invoice or a purchase invoice and you submit it, it will automatically generate what a withholding tax journal entry. So this was very good because it simplified the process of continuously tracking all your sales and having to create with all your purchases and having to create journals for them. So that way, you know, there's already a journal created that is linked to the invoice. And you can just go follow up and submit it when you're ready. You also have this option to choose whether you want it to create in draft or you want it to submit for you automatically. Obviously, some people will prefer that it is in draft so that they can make sure everything is working correctly, or all the data has been accepted, certificates, so on and so forth. So it's honestly up to you how you want it. It's also a functionality that does not have to be turned on if you want to go the manual route of creating journals yourself. We also have a VAT e-filing report. So it gives you an idea of your inputs and your outputs for your taxes, so you can also have that tracked. It's a report that was created for that purpose. We have other utility enhancements. So we like these especially because, there's a lot of issues for companies and drivers, whether it's a company that focuses on giving services for transportation, or you have in-house drivers that deliver or you use to travel from one point to another. So the first one would be pulling vehicle fines from police websites. So it's really good because, the pressure of being a driver and having to report that you have been fined may be too much, and you may not want to report it. Maybe in your mind you're thinking, I will pay it at a later date, or I'll pay it myself, but then you don't pay it and then the costs increase. So what we did was that now our doc type for your police fines will automatically pull the data continuously from the police website. So if you have registered your vehicle, the data will be pulled directly from the police website, so you will know, you will be up to date with all fines received from any vehicles that you have. So it's a good thing because now the driver doesn't even have to report, you will already know, and you will be on top of all fines that you may have received for that vehicle. It's the same concept for your parking bills. As you can see, it's linked to our Tarura website as well. So if you face any parking bill, parking fines, it will also update in the system. So you will be up to date with all vehicle information so that you can also make sure that it's covered, it's paid, and you don't incur any interest. The last one would be pulling insurance details from the tier website. So this is more of a kind of a headache type of thing. You have insurance for different things, whether it's your vehicle, whether it's any kind of insurance that you use in your company. And if it expires, it may be an afterthought that, oh, I should have renewed this, right? And you don't want to be in a position where maybe your driver is driving and your vehicle insurance has expired. That incurs costs, of course. So what we did is that we also pull insurance details from the TIRA website so that you're also up to date. So TIRA is your Tanzania Insurance Regulatory Authority. And basically, it has all the information for all your insurance details. So these allow to ease the headaches that companies may face. Small headaches, but that are common around all companies. So it really adds value to the system, and I think it helps companies, in their day-to-day functionality, that they don't have to focus heavily on the small details, and they can focus on the general work operations that they have. So this is an example of your vehicle fine record. Basically, it will just give you information about when it was issued, who was the officer who issued the ticket, the vehicle number, the license, as well as its status. So obviously you can see here the status is paid, and that is because the fine has been paid. So that will also update in the system. You will also be informed of what the offense was. So this helps you to understand, also on the company's part, your kind of driver, right? So you want to make sure you have a good driver so you can understand if this driver is constantly getting fines, why? I think that's important as well. And how much it costs. Then this is your parking bills. They will be listed here, the bill amount, the expiry date, the bill description, and the vehicle. And yes, that's it from me. I will be handing over to my colleague, Ekta, and she'll come up and continue the presentation. Thank you very much.
Let's do it again. The African way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hello to everyone. My name is Ekta Lodhari and I'm a senior implementation consultant at Aakvatech Limited. I have experience in various modules and I'm specialized in HR and payroll module. Our team has made various enhancements and customizations in HR and payroll modules in order to address the specific needs and challenges faced by the businesses in the local markets. These enhancements help to save time, reduce errors, and also improve the overall efficiency in managing the workforce-related activities. Okay. One of the enhanced features we have is payroll approval. So some organizations, large organizations with a large number of employees. Example, we have one of our manufacturing companies customer who has like 2,000 or 2,000 employees. So such kind of organizations require the payroll to be approved by more than one department, or it requires various stages of approval. And since a lot of salary slips will be connected to the payroll entry, it will require a lot of effort to pass through each salary slip and approve it. Hence this feature of payroll approval. So to enable this feature, a checkbox of enable payroll approval has been added to CSF TZ settings, which once ticked will automatically tick the has payroll approval button in the payroll entry and in the salary slip. So let's take example of an organization where the HR creates the salary slip, the accountant reviews the salary slips, and then finally the finance rejects or approves the salary slips. So the flow on the screen is the one which will be followed. Yeah. Another enhancement we have is pre-set up Tanzanian salary structure. So there are various statutory deduction components which are applicable to almost all Tanzanian employees. So instead of having to set up the salary structure over and over again, we have included the formulas in the pre-set up Tanzanian salary structure. These components include NSSF, HESLB, NHIF, SDL, PAI, and so on. Yeah. So this is the Tanzanian salary structure with the pre-set up statutory deduction components. And since these components are dependent on various factors, just let's take example of NSSF. It's applicable to employees who are aged between 18 and 60 years old. Also, we can take example of HESLB expense. This is applicable to the employees who had taken the loan during the higher education studies. So for that reason, we have added a checkbox of these deductions in the salary structure assignment. So when they are ticked, it will deduct that particular component from the employee's salary. Other enhancements we have are on reports. So our developers have created a report called Multi-Currency Salary Register Report. In this report, we have added a checkbox of multi-currency, which when ticked will show the amounts in different currencies. So let's take an example of organization where the company currency is TZS and then the employee is being paid in USD. So it will show the components in both the currencies USD and TZS. Next report, we have salary register summary with monthly comparison report. These reports helps to check if there is a difference between monthly difference between amounts and analyze what's causing the difference. Yeah. So thank you. I'll now introduce our developer Sydney to take on.
My name is Sydney Kibanga and I'm a senior software developer from Aakvatech. So today we're going to look at Aakvatech and StockTech app. So why Aakvatech and StockTech app? So we had a customer that was requesting like to have a tool that could help his and his team, could help his teammate or his employees to like perform stock take process like in an offline mode. So why we opt to use this StockTech app is because it's mobile applications are capable of working on an offline mode. So, why Flappy Auth 02? So, for you, for your enable for your mobile app to communicate with the Flappy instance, there has to be a link between the two. So, what links them? So, we opted to use this Flappy Auth 02. So, there are other various ways of linking the two systems, mobile app and well as the Frappe, but for us we opt to use this Frappe Auth 02. So basically it's a protocol that helps third party to communicate with Frappe application, or it can be even any other application. For our case now it's Frappe because Frappe acts as a backend. So what are the points why we chose to use Frappe Auth 02 and not token based? As we know in Frappe, a system manager can create a token, then that token can be assigned, like you can be given that token, then that token you can use to perform your REST API calls. Then this method is not that good because of its security, because once someone has access to your source code and they have the access to that token, they can do anything in your Frappe application. They can create, they can delete, they can even modify records. So we never wanted to use this token-based, so because of its security and scalability. Then we came to this Flappy Auth 02 because of its security, because there is no human interaction at all. You put your email, you put in your password in your Flappy instance. At the same time, the Flappy instance generates a token, so no human interaction. Then from there, in your Flutter app or your front-end app, you can store that token and use to perform your calls. So flexibility, it's flexible. As I've said previously, no human interaction. And scalability, you know, if you have like 10 apps and they want to communicate with one Flappy instance, so for that case, you'll have to create, if you go to the case of token-based, you have to generate token-based 10, let's say, for instance, 10 token-based or tokens you have to assign to those 10 apps. So it's not scalable. So what if you have 100 apps? You have again to create 100 tokens. So with Flappy Auth, no need to do that. And the good thing of this, the token that you get, it's cool because it has access control. So all the laws and permissions of that particular user will be embedded in that token. So enough of the token. How does it work? So I've created a video here that shows a process on how it works. So for instance, you are in your app, you click a get started button, you are redirected to the Frappe instance. Here you have to put in your email and your password. Once you're done, you click a login button. Then from there, the Frappe instance will ask you, like, do you want to authorize this app to access your username, your passwords, or some kind of that kind? No, not password, your roles and images, some kind of that. So all full name, image. Then you say accept. Then once you are done, you will be directed back to the app, and boom, you are in a homepage of your app. Now, so now StockTech app. As I said previously, one of our clients wanted a tool that could help them because they have like underground warehouses where there is no internet connection at all. So they wanted a tool that could help them perform StockTech in an offline mode. So we opt to use Flutter, because some people might ask, why not PWA? Because PWA does not have that capability to communicate with device hardwares. So Flutter has that capability. So that's why we chose to use Flutter. So StockTech app, it's basically a mobile application that's built on Flutter, and Frappe or ERPNext act as its backend. So basically it helps just StockTech taking process in warehouses, and yeah, that is it. So why StockTech app? Because it's fast in counting, because it looks like a calculator. You scan your barcode, you scan your QR code, you put in the quantity, you're done with the counting. Accuracy, so it reduces the human error. Also, one of the coolest features that it has is offline operation, and also it has got some cool UI. It has got some cool UI. So, in front of you, there are some of the screens that our StockTech app has, and the first screen that you see, that's the like a homepage that you land on, and it has like a lot of the buttons, but I just explained a few of them. I hope the cursor can be seen here. Cool. So you have this here. It's where you can click and choose the type, what of the type you want to use. Either you want to use a camera, you want to use a beam. Here you have it, here, this button here. It's where you can insert the counting process, and here it's where you'll see the entries. Here you can see the informations, and also here you have see some setups and settings thing. So the second screen here you're seeing, it has list of the entries that you have just performed, and also the one you're seeing with the greens, that means they've been synchronized. They are performed offline, but they've already synchronized with the Flappy instance. The one you're seeing with white, those ones have not been synchronized. And the synchronization that is done automatically, no human interaction at all. The third screen here, the third screen here is when you open one of these entries, so you'll see the summary, like what was the company, the date you performed at, the time, what was the warehouse, and number of the scanned QR codes or barcodes, and their respective quantity. So once you click this button of the camera, I mean, it's called a count type. So here you have two options, either use a beam or camera. So once you choose beam, this is the screen that you'll have, and some kind of a calculator where you'll be putting in your quantities. And when you decide to choose camera, this is what you land on. So it will open up a camera, and you'll have the same kind of a calculator thing where you'll put in your quantity. And for those who are wondering, like, what is a beam? So our app basically works with this device called some device. So basically, this device emits a laser beam, and it helps in scanning QR codes and barcodes very, very, very fast, rather than using a camera. So if you opt to use a beam, then you do your scanning very fast. Yeah, thank you. That's all I had. Okay, so let me take this opportunity to welcome one of my colleagues, Innocent Metumba, to proceed with the presentation.
My name is Innocent Metumba. I'm a software developer at Aakvatech, and I have almost 1 year in Aakvatech and also in learning about FRAP and ERPNext. Today I'll be sharing with you concerning about patch-based custom fields and property setter, and also I'll touch a little bit about lab equipment integration for the companies which are dealing in health care issues. ERPNext and FRAP, it comes with its specifications for it to be run, but in a certain area, there are several requirements that need to be there so it can suit the business logics of that place. Example, in Tanzania, there's so many specifications that we are using to suit the business logics in our area. So patches and property setter, it's become the very good feature which help us to make all things. As patches, it's a software updates that keeps all the consistency in the application across the version, and also it's help us to make all the modifications that we have made, and the bug fixes are being to be available into the system. So the current way which ERPNext and FRAP is using the way of fixtures, that it is a cup of code that is written, so it can when it is running, it's make all the features that are being made to that system to be available to the system. But for our side, we have found some issues that some of the patches are not running, and and some of the property setters and custom fields are not appearing to the system. So we have decided to use the JSON of that particular custom field. So our implementers, when they are doing their job of consultation with the customer and create some those custom fields, and those custom fields become very, it's needed by a lot of customers. So that, that field, it's been taken, we are just copying the JSON code from that field, from the system, and we are embedding it into the system by using the JSON way. This way it becomes very easy for us, and also it helps us to make all these custom fields to be available into the system, and it's always save time, and because there's back and forth to check if this field is available, and if it is, the patch is not running. So this way, this technique helps us to we are more assured that all the property setter and custom fields are there into the system, and it helps a lot in our development stuff. So that is all about patches and custom patches concerning about custom fields and property setter. Another issue I'm going to discuss today is I'm going to touch a little bit about lab equipment and lab equipment integration. This enables the data from the machine to be migrated directly to the ERP system. And it becomes very helpful to the lab technicians into the laboratory to submit all the results from the machine, which they were making some processing into the machine. So when it gets back to the doctor will analyze those results, and of course it helps to save more of time. For now, we are just using this. We have created this doc type, which it is receiving the data from the machine itself. The doc type is called lab machine message. And when you open the document itself, or from that doc type, when there is this field here, it's called message. This is the result, the data which we are retrieving from the machine. So after retrieving that data, we have made some the middleware, which it is taking this result and analyzing it and update the lab test doc type. For those who are working with healthcare companies, are familiar with this doc type, lab test doc type. So after being taken from this doc type lab machine message, then it will update directly the particular lab test of the particular patient. And this, it is very helpful to the lab team and a lot of our customers that they are using this. They are using this. They are very grateful because it become very helpful from them. For now, we have been able to integrate this machine. These are the server-based lab machine, Mindray BC760, and Mindray BC10. These are the server-based lab machines, and also we have already make sure that we have integrated these client-based lab machines. This Mindray BS230 and Mindray BS5380 and Mindray CL900. So these are the machines that we have been able to integrate them, and we are looking more to integrate more machines so we can speed up the functionality in the laboratory activities to our customers. So thank you. I would like to welcome my friend Joshua. Thank you.
Yes, hi everyone. Okay, I am Joshua Michael, a software developer from Aakvatech. And so today I am going to talk about the biometric integration enhancement for ZK-TECO and ESSL devices. First of all, here we'll have to look about the pain points that lead to this. The less inefficient back and forth requests as it previously involved many requests, many API requests to the biometric to fetch the data. Also, there is difficulty in managing and validating biometric data. This is basically in an instance where there is a large amount of data, whereas a large amount of data actually requires a consistent accuracy and integrity, which when not handled well will lead to complexity in handling the data. Also, there is complex reporting and exception handling. Whereas due to inconsistent data, then some valuable data cannot be well tracked by the concerned one. Also, there is necessary steps in data transfer to FRAP-HR, whereas there are redundant steps that impact time as well as complexity in data processing. And so, what are the objectives and solutions to this? Okay, first of all, what our main goal? Our main goal it is to streamline the biometric data processing to the FRAP-HR, whereas we have come with a solution which has a configurable schedulers that helps in validating the data and handle well the exceptions. And how the flow is, it's like your data becomes fetched from the biometric, then becomes staged, the validation takes place, and then the data linked to employee check-in. As you can see, this is just an example of the flow, how the data comes from the biometric up to the employee check-in. Yes, what are the key features of the integration now? First, it is to ensure that the device communicates well with the system to fetch the real-time data. Also, we have come up with a new module that integrates with FRAP-HR by taking the biometric data to it. Then, real-time updates whereas we have ensured the instantly records of the logs from the biometric. And here comes the biometric data staging. It's actually a dedicated doc type that captures the raw data from the biometric and stores it, which also acts as a permanent, it's a permanent storage of this data and giving space for the, and it gives space for the biometric to have a more space for a more memory that will actually impact the efficiency of the biometric. This doc type, it contains such fields like attendance device ID, the timestamp, punch type, and the status for consistency. So how the validation and cleaning is done here? By default, when the data are being taken from the biometric to this new doc type, then they come with a pending status, which means that they are waiting for the processing to be taken place. Then, when the processing is being done, then the data are flagged differently, like the one that the ID matches with that of the employee in the employee doc type, then are processed and linked to employee check-in, leaving the processed status. Also, as those doesn't match any of the ID, then those will be flagged as ignored since they are unnecessary data. And also, if it comes like a data with the same timestamp for the same ID, become recorded, then only one of them will be taken out and other will be marked as a duplicate. Okay, this it's just like a flow, how it is, how it all works. And this is our doc type, and this is how it handles various data from the biometric before and after being processed to the employee check-in. And this is actually for example, of the devices that we have managed to integrate them. And both of them, they are just responsible for collecting the data, the data for the employee in a real-time manner. Also, about exception reporting, this it gives a chance for the concerned one, like the HR team or system managers, to be getting a report of the data depending on various status. Like at the end of the day, before a date changes, it will send an email showing like how many data has been processed, how many have been ignored, how many are duplicate, and so forth. And then, what are the benefits of biometric integration now? It brings efficiency, as it reduces manual intervention. Also, it provides security in such a way that it only ensures only the required employee are being tracked and preventing those unauthorized ones from their data being processed actually. And so the data that are collected from the biometric gives an insight and become more valuable to different departments, including the HR department, whether it's for analytics, payroll, and other operations. That's for me. Thank you. That's all from Aakvatech team.